Hello, it's your main man, Rick the Don. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for clicking my video of all the choices out there because I know it's a lot of them. But if you're here, you're in the right place. So let's talk about Daniel and Nicole. If you just watched the latest episode, you know that Monty won the HOH. You know that he put up Alyssa and um, Indy. You know how I feel about that if you've watched my previous content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got tons of content on BB, and I'll be here every time an episode airs to just kind of give out my thoughts. And I have to talk about the hidden deadly alliance. Now, I have been a big cheerleader for the leftovers. You know how I feel about bullying. You know how I feel about the underdog. Finally, having his or her day. I am an underdog. Watch my and look at my views compared to some of these juggernauts out here on YouTube. So obviously, I'm always going to root for the underdog to actually take over. But in being objective, I have to look at the other side of the house. And if you have watched those other videos of mine, you know how I feel about Monty's decision and not nominating Taylor. Taylor and Nicole it was gift wrapped for the Leftovers Alliance. Hey, Leftovers Alliance, I got the perfect move for you. This was almost as good as Pooch putting himself on the block for Jasmine. I won't say it was as good. I'll say it was just as good, or even, maybe even close. But Nicole had been openly gunning for Taylor up until this point, and I'm not sure. I would have to assume that Taylor does not know this, because if I'm Taylor and I know that Nicole was throwing competitions and doing these type of things to get me out, and now the coin has flipped and I have the exact same opportunity. If I'm Taylor and I know that, I'm like, hey, it's payback time. Put me on the block next to Nicole, and Nicole goes. But for some reason, Taylor, and you know what? She's human. She's human. So I understand where she's coming from. She's been bullied. She's been targeted. She's been the low woman on the totem pole. I get all of that. And, she's not thinking big picture. And I don't think that strategy is a big component of Taylor's game. I think she's an athletic threat. I think she's a social threat. Strategic, no. And I think, someone who had, strategic acumen and was really strategic, they would say, wait a minute, we have a golden opportunity here. Look, put me on the block next to Nicole. We have the numbers to get rid of Nicole. And can we just point this out? Nicole is the biggest threat on the other side of the house. And can we also add the fact that she has a huge, huge alliance going on with Daniel? You know what's more dangerous than a showmance? A no-mance, okay? They have a no-mance alliance. There's no romance involved. And I think, look, I don't know what's going on. They got the same hair. Like, they got the same little drip streak. I mean, these two are a deadly alliance. And I'm going back to Mortal Kombat on this one. If you ever heard of more, look, these two are like Shang Tsung and Quan Chi working together. And you saw what happened when they got together. They finally beat Liu Kang. This is the exact same thing here. You got Daniel is a huge threat in the game. He's smart. And not only is he smart, he doesn't care. People will criticize Daniel for the whole racist kind. I'm not that person. I'm not the sensitive person. He said that. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy who looks at the big picture. So Daniel, he is very straightforward, and when he says something, he means it, and he doesn't take back anything. These are things I compliment about Daniel's game. I like the fact that he's so thorough and he sticks by what he sticks by. You don't have to like it, but you will respect it. That is Daniel's game in a nutshell. And guess what? He's so closely aligned with Nicole. Not to put Nicole on the block when you have her. And I would be okay if you don't put Nicole up on the block, but you put up somebody else that's like a big threat. I mean, and it's hard, like a Daniel for crying out loud. But to not put Daniel or Nicole on the block is a huge oversight, in my opinion. Look, let's just get this out the way. Nicole is a problem. She's a cop. If you know anything about cops, they're very thorough. They're great at investigation. They're always looking for breadcrumbs. They can put two and two together. If anybody discovers this Leftovers alliance, it will be Nicole, because that's what she does. That's what she did for a living for like 10 years. So, not only that, she has our partner in crime and Daniel. Daniel is a straight shooter. You got a straight shooter and a cop on the same team. You don't think you want to take a shot at either one of them. You just don't think that was a good idea. Look, while I don't think Nicole is a competition threat or a threat to win HOH, guess who is, though? Daniel. And though Daniel doesn't necessarily, or Nicole, have the numbers to take a real insignificant shot at the Leftovers, it really doesn't matter. I think the Leftovers, they want to go down the more scenic route where they want to see things happen. Let's see what happens if we do. No. You got to go back to cookout, era, where you just want to have an easy road. Take the road of least friction. You don't want any Leftovers members to go on a block. Wait a minute, that's a contradiction. Man, maybe okay. I finally figured out why Monty might have made that decision. He wants to, keep his hands clean of any blood that might be a part of a leftovers member. Okay, all right. I stand corrected. But I still think the bigger picture says Taylor goes in the block next to Nicole. Not taking a shot at Nicole and Daniel, in my opinion, is a significant oversight. Outside of Daniel and Nicole, who could possibly be a threat towards Michael, be a threat towards Kyle, be a threat towards Joseph, Monty, Taylor? It's nobody. Okay, and that's my point. So not taking them out, you're playing with fire. The one thing that I don't think most people are seeing, and it's that, for me, it is that the leftovers alliance is not as strong as it appears to be. Okay, so just like the post pack appears strong in the beginning, just like the girls alliance appears strong in the beginning, they all seem strong in the beginning. But what happens? The week transpires or expires, and then it's like, hey, so anybody else want to join together? That's what this game has evolved into. So I'm not putting all my eggs in the leftovers basket. If I'm a Monty or anybody else, I'm saying, hey, at any point, things can switch over and change where the leftovers alliance gets left behind. You got to think forward in this game. This game is always evolving. Why do you think they have live feeds? Because they realize the significance of moment-to-moment gameplay within the Big Brother house. So, in my opinion, I think that was a huge oversight, not putting up Daniel and Nicole next to each other. Because look, Daniel has the ear of Nicole. Nicole and Daniel have the ear of Alyssa. Alyssa can, at some point, if she chooses to, work her magic and bring Kyle out of the leftovers. She probably, Indy. These people have, the calling card of people like Michael, the people like Brittany. Michael, Brittany, Kyle. In my opinion, those players are easily swayed outside of the leftovers alliance. I think the only real members in the leftovers alliance that can't be swayed are Monty, Taylor, Turner. I think the other players, Joseph, Michael, Brittany, and Kyle, I think those players are easily maneuverable. I think they, at some point in this game, you'll see those four, one of those four, two or three of those four, come out and join another alliance with the other side of the house. So me always trying to figure out the loopholes in the game. I just think that you're leaving them, or I think that leaving those two unbothered, not even a shot, not even as much as a shot, is the wrong call. And perhaps I am a victim of the moment, meaning that I haven't seen who's going to win the veto competition. I haven't seen who's going to be replacement nominations. So maybe it's still too early to make these calls. But I'm just calling it how I see it. Not looking at live feeds. I'm looking at the moment, what just transpired. I have to say that leaving these two unbothered, untouched is dangerous. Dangerous. All right, but that's all I wanted to put out into the atmosphere. If you haven't done so, go watch my other content. You can. My page is really, it's a variety show. It's a lot of stuff going on. But if you look at my playlist, you'll see all my BB content is conjoined in one little space where you can watch all the episodes that I'm talking about, stuff like this. And oh man, I can't wait till Wednesday gets here. If it's not obvious, I want to see. I need to know more information. I'm not going to watch the live feeds. I refuse to do it. I'm sorry, I refuse to do it. But I have to see who wins the veto competition. That's going to me, decide everything. Because I'll tell you, if Daniel or Nicole win, if anybody from the other side of the house win, and you had to notice that in the episode that just aired Sunday, you had to see in the HOH competition, the leftovers alliance played horribly. Of the entire alliance, some of the strongest players in the game, only 3 of them made it to the HOH final. So what that told me is this group is comfortable, and you can never get comfortable in this game. So with these players being so comfortable, that means they're going to start making some lapse in judgment. They're going to start making some mistakes, and I think they just made the first one and not taking a shot at Nicole or Daniel. All right, but thank you all for watching, and please like if you like the video. Peace.